Soil gives support and nourishment to plants and thus helps them to grow. It forms the base of agriculture. The survival of all animals, their nourishment and nurture all depends on the soil. Let us see how is soil formed. Soil is made up of stones and pebbles, sand, fine soil particles as well as organic substances. The rocky surfaces develop cracks because of the changes in atmospheric heat and cold, winds, etc. Water gets collected in these cracks and freezes in the cold. Freezing water increases in volume and results in the breaking of the rock. Rocks and boulders also break as a result of the effects of rivers, rainwater, winds and continuous changes in weather. This continuous wearing of rocks converts them into smaller and smaller particles and they are eventually turned into soil. Layers of this soil spread over the surface of the earth. In short, we can say that the effects of various elements of nature are the cause of the wearing of rocks and formation of soil. This is called weathering. We all know that insects and microorganisms live, grow and die in the soil. Plants too take root, grow and die in the same soil. Rodents, like rats, make burrows in the soil to live. This leads to conversion of rough earth into soil due to crumbling. Such biological processes go on in the ground continuously and add to the effects of weathering. Also, the roots of plants growing into cracks in rocks help weathering. The soil that is formed by weathering, mainly caused by roots of plants, is clay. It is really amazing to know that it takes 800 to 1000 years for a 2.5 centimeter thick layer of fertile soil to be formed in nature. Without soil, plant life could not have existed on earth. Without plants, animal life is not possible. Plants provide us wood for building, shelters, clothes to protect ourselves from heat, rain and cold. In short, plants provide us with all our basic necessities, that is, food, clothing and shelter. Various minerals and metals are also obtained from the soil. Rainwater collects among the rocks and this water too becomes available to us. Hence, we can say that soil becomes an important factor in the life of human beings. Thus, soil is a natural resource. By now, you might have understood few uses of soil. Let us learn more about its uses. 1. Soil has the property of plasticity, that is, it can be given any desired shape. When clay articles are baked, the minerals in the soil melt and while cooling bind other particles of soil together. This makes the baked articles hard. 2. Soil has the property to hold water. So, water becomes available to us all the year round from deep places such as ponds and wells where it has collected naturally. 3. Bricks used for construction work are made from clay soil. 4. Some vessels of everyday use are also made using clay. 5. It is used in making walls of some houses. You might have heard of soil existing in different colors. Let us learn about them. Soil is of different colors. It may be black, red, yellow or copper colored. Color is an important property of soil. Several processes occur simultaneously giving soil its color. The color of the soil gives us an idea of its fertility, drainage and other such properties. The color of the soil depends upon its texture, organic content and chemical substances like iron, quicklime, etc. that it may contain. Along with organic matter, fine particles of quartz, feldspar, mica, carbonates of metals, oxides and sulfides of iron are also present in soil. Earthen pots and other artifacts are made from three types of soil: china clay, clay and loamy soil. The soil found near the Kaolin mountain in China is called kaolin or china clay. It is white in color and is used to make crockery, tiles for bathrooms, tanks, laboratory apparatus, etc. Various oxides are used to decorate earthenware or porcelain articles. Example: iron oxide to obtain red ochre, copper oxide to obtain green color. Clay and loamy soil are different types of kaolin. As loamy soil is white in color, it is used to make statues, idols, etc. Just like colors, the sizes of soil particles also differ. The proportion of the particles of the different sizes determines the texture of the soil. The different types of soil based on its texture are: 1. Sandy soil, 2. Clayey soil, 3. Silt soil. Let us try this. 1. Take 250 gram of sandy soil, clayey soil and silt soil in 3 separate beakers. 2. Add 50 milliliter of water in each beaker. 3. Let us observe the difference. Observation. The following difference is observed. Have a look. 1. Sandy soil. It has greater proportion of larger particles or of sand and has least capacity for holding water. 2. Clayey soil. It has the greatest proportion of fine particles of soil and has the greatest capacity for holding water. 3. Silt soil. It has fine to medium-sized particles of soil and has medium capacity for holding water. However, soil that holds a lot of water is not well aerated. This arrests the growth of roots in the soil. Now, let us move on to constituents of soil. Soil has constituents of plant and animal origin. They are also called organic constituents. The constituents of plant origin include bacteria, fungi, algae, blue-green algae, decomposed leaves, etc. of plants. The constituents of animal origin include protozoa, worms, insects, shells, and the decomposed remains of dead animals. Now we shall learn a little more about erosion of soil. Soil on the ground is eroded by rainwater falling on it, by fast currents of water flowing on it with great speed, or by gusts of wind. This causes the thin layer of fertile soil on the surface to be carried away. Thus, the land loses its fertility. To prevent erosion, soil must be kept covered. But what gives this cover? Grass allowed to grow, crops grown on the land, and trees planted on it provide this cover. Erosion depends upon the slope and the type of soil. Thus, soil should be arranged horizontally across the line of the slope so that soil erosion can be reduced. Bunds should be built to stop flowing water and to prevent the soil from getting washed away. If the above-mentioned preventive measures are adopted, soil is conserved. This is called soil conservation. More information of reducing soil erosion can be obtained from the government department. We know that people have cut down forests to satisfy their own selfish needs. In order to motivate each and every man to act upon the need for restoring forests, various schemes were started by the government. Let us learn about those. According to the government scheme, trees are to be planted in all possible places, such as on the borders of fields, both sides of roads and railway tracks, on the banks of streams, rivers, etc. This is called social forestry. This project was started in 1976. Its purpose is to encourage small farmers and Adivasis to plant trees. Financial aid is provided. Even the land which was not under cultivation has been reclaimed for agriculture. Thus, the number of trees has increased and wood has become available in plenty. Social forestry project of Maharashtra government is carried out in most schools by teams called Harit Sena or Green Brigade. Coming to the soil pollution. A disturbance in the natural balance of various factors present in soil is called soil pollution. The soil is polluted in the following ways. When chemical fertilizers are used in greater quantities, excessive spray of pesticides, water let out from factories, acid rain, using too much water and chemicals making soil saline. Crops cannot be grown in such soil. Therefore, to prevent soil pollution, we should use natural organic fertilizers, avoid overuse of fertilizers and pesticides, and treat effluents from factories before letting it out. Next, we shall learn about soil testing. Soil testing can tell us about the good qualities and shortcomings of the soil. A farmer grows a variety of crops. Often, he does not get a good harvest. Farmers often face some problems. At such times, he has to consider the color, texture, and content of organic matter in the soil. All these things can be found out through soil testing.